Hi everybody, welcome back. I'm Curt with Senox. We're here at Senox U today to talk about one of the new products we've just introduced, a 3x4 smooth downspout. Now this downspout is designed to give you the commercial look, but for a residential sized home. We're going after those clean, smooth, modern lines. One of the unique things about our product line is we've actually been able to develop elbows, which is different than anything else you might see out there on the marketplace. As far as I know, we're the only manufacturer that is offering these types of downspouts with the elbows. These things are available in all 32 colors we offer, as well as galvanum and copper. They're in 10-foot lengths, and we've got standard A and B elbows. This is what it looks like, and some of the features that I like about it a lot. There's some other people out there in the marketplace that are offering smooth downspouts, but we've got some advantages over them. One, I want you to notice that our lines are clean and crisp. We've got true 90s here where we don't have a radius on this. The other thing we've managed to do is we've got a very clean seam on the back side. You don't see the indention so much. So as you can see, we've got the crimp in here. We're going to slide this into our virgin end of the downspout. See how clean this is? You don't see the crimp marks once we've actually installed that elbow, and it fits nice and snug. Okay, so now we're going to talk about doing a custom cut downspout. What is the distance between the bottom of this gutter and the edge of this fascia that I need to clear to start my rake back, okay? Now I want to give myself a 1/2 inch to 1 inch clearance here. Let's just say from the bottom of the gutter down to here, let's just say that that's 4 inches. So we're going to go ahead and take that first measurement at 4 inches, and we're going to go ahead and make that cut. So we said 4 inches is our imaginary number, so we're going to start out with that. We'll just make a little mark here with our pencil. We're going to draw a straight line here. Now this first one's a different cut than the other two, and I'll show you why. This is not going to be my cut line, this is going to be my bend line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another line at 1 3/4 and then another line at 2 inches. Okay, now I'm going to go to 2-inch lines. Now we got to do some other marks. Now this middle line is now going to be our cut point, because this is the distance we need to clear to be able to clear our fascia. So we want to make sure now on all our other cuts, our line that we mark to is going to be our center line, which will be our cut line. This first one, it's just the top line, okay? So that's really important. So since we're going to cut this middle line, I'm going to go ahead and continue those lines around. So I'm going to go ahead and connect these lines. Okay, so this is a downspout, so we're plumbing water. When we're doing that, we always want the top seam to go inside the next seam. So what we're going to do is now we're going to make a few more lines. So we're going to take this back 2-inch line that we had, and we're going to connect it to this center cut line, but I'm going to stop it about 1/2 inch from the top of the, or the bottom of the gutter itself. Okay, so that's going to be my cut line. Oh, here it's going to be different because I'm only going to do it about 1 inch. And these don't have to be perfect, okay, because this is going to be inside. Okay, so it's going to look something like that. So I'm going to cut this sections out. Now we need to make sure our marks are on the other side here. But you got to take your time and you got to think through each step, because if you mark one of these wrong and cut one of these wrong, now you got to start over. But I'm going to actually take my hacksaw and I'm going to cut all the way down to that line. Now make sure you got your blade lubricated. Okay, as you can see, we've got our cut done. I'm a little off, that's okay. We're going to correct that and cut that out anyway, but I got my base cut done. So now we're going to start with our snips. So what I do here is I just kind of force that down so I can get my snips in. Get over here to this. Now, it's a good idea to take out a little bit on this line, past this line on the seam itself. It'll make for a little bit smoother transition when you fold everything together, okay? I think it's a good idea to cut everything you can with your reds first. Follow that same path. Okay, so now I've made my initial cut, but I would put a dab of Geocell, Rusco, whatever you use, little bubble right here and right here before I did this fold. That way when you do that fold, it's going to run down and help seal that seam right there. You're going to fold this over. You got to put some pressure on this to make sure it's good and tight and seated, okay? So again, see how we got a little gap here? So we'll need to pull that tight. But if I wouldn't have pulled that and just drilled it, I'd have had a gap there. All right, we're going to actually measure on a straight line from the outside edge of the outlet all the way over to the side of the house. We're going to say that this is a 16 inches that we need, okay? What I want to do is I want to line my drop out of the bottom of the gutter up on the edge of the table here, okay? And then I'm going to pull my measurement, and I said 16 inches, right? So we're just going to put a mark at 16 inches. Now, remember, I'm going to go 1 3/4 inches, 2 inch. Now we need to do our cut lines. Remember, we talked about this one's going to go from this 2-inch line down to about a 1/2 inch above. This one's going to go down to about 1 inch. Okay? Okay, especially this back one because it's going to go on the inside. Okay, so we've got all our marks done. Now we can start cutting. We got our initial cut made, so we're just going to cut to the lines. Get a flat blade screwdriver, something, and put it right on the seam and line it up with those 2 cuts we made. Tap it, put a little crease mark in it. So let's fold this over. Now we need to figure out where we want to cut the bottom of this downspout to make our elbow. We're going to take a measurement from the bottom of our gutter to the ground. Okay, we're going to subtract 6 inches off of that. The pipe itself is going to be 3 inches, so that's your 3 inches. And when I fold that, it's going to be another 3 inches, so about 6 inches. So let's just say, for example, our mark is 89 inches. Well, then I would want to cut this downspout 83 inches. I'm going to line everything up, you know, where I'm square and square, and I'm going to pull a tape. 83 inches. That's going to be my cut line. So then I'm going to go down 2 inches from there, 1 3/4 up here. Then after this 2, I'm going to go another 3 because that's how much I want my elbow to stick out. So we're going to go ahead and start that drawing. So 1 3/4, draw a line. Now we're going to add 3 inches on here as our elbow. All right, so we're going to cut this 3-inch one all the way down, and that will be our first cut. Dab a sealant, dab a sealant. Voila, downspout. So that's the basics of how you custom cut a downspout. Keep in mind, it's critical that you've got a solid, square work surface to be working on if you want to keep this clean. If you've got any questions, please give us a call. Thanks, bye.